So in this video, we're going to be doing a complete build of this coffee table right here. In the first video, I built this design with this YouTube link. In the second video, with second video YouTube. Third video YouTube. Fourth video YouTube. And now the fifth video. So let's get straight into it. Alright, just a quick breakdown. I'm going to show you how I built these pieces here, the border, and then the epoxy, and then finally these X-shaped legs here. So let's roll the intro. So the first step was to get these marabou and pine strips together as sandwiches that we're going to sit in between the designs, and then finally glue them up to connect the designs. So I cut all those pieces up, glued them all up to make them sandwiches, and then glued the four designs together. I glued them all up one by one to ensure there was a perfect square in the middle for this black epoxy. So I glued two of the designs together, then glued the other two designs together. I made sure everything was cut at a perfectly 90 degrees. Clamped everything and then put weights on the whole board to make sure everything was even. I waited for the glue to dry, took everything off, made some more cuts so that the whole piece was at 90 degrees so I could put a pine border on. I then sanded it. I made some cuts that were going to act as the border. Glued the border, sanded it again, and then it was ready for the next part, epoxy. So for this step, I got the board, part A, part B, the paddle pop sticks to mix the epoxy, the cup it was going into, and then we pour part A and the part B in. Although this wasn't going to be the main pour, it was just going to be epoxy the sides so that for the main pour, the epoxy wouldn't seep through the wood. So here, you can see us mixing it very slowly, the part A and the part B, to eliminate bubbles and streaks, so it looks nice for the final product. Then we lift up the tabletop, apply the epoxies in the inner border of where the pour was going to go, so the epoxy wouldn't seep through. Next was the actual epoxy pour, the real epoxy pour. Sprayed it so it wouldn't stick through, means that the blackboard wouldn't stick to the tabletop. Clamped the tabletop to the blackboard so it wouldn't move. Applied the silicone so the epoxy wouldn't seep through the gaps. And then we got ready to mix the main epoxy pour. Whipped up some Batman black color and put it into the epoxy. We poured in half the height into the middle of the table. Blow torched it to eliminate as many bubbles as possible. And then we added the rest of the half, blow torched that, and it was ready to go. It was time to crack open the tabletop off the blackboard. And after all that preparation, it's still glued to the blackboard. We gave it a sand. Gave it a varnish. And it was ready to go. On to the last part of the video, the legs. Got this big, beautiful pine log, chopped her up into pieces, 3 pieces to be precise. Cut some angles on these bad boys. Measured up where I was gonna make the jewel cuts. Made the jewel cuts. Sanded everything. Applied some finish. Glued up the legs. Clamped up the legs and screwed up the legs. And yeah, baby, we done. That's it. I'm gonna leave you with some footage of the finished product. I'm gonna have all the descriptions of part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4 in the description below. I'm gonna come up with a full video, maybe a 10-minute or a 20-minute video of the whole production of this coffee table from start to finish. And yeah, this took like 30 hours to make, another 10 hours to film, and another 10 hours to edit. So give us a like, give us a subscribe, and yeah. I got this piece coming out soon, and I'm also building a dining table with some cool X-shaped legs and epoxy going through the middle. That's gonna be cool, so stay tuned. Hope you enjoyed the video, and bye-bye. And if you're still watching, I'm going to show you super fast part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4 that I already have up on YouTube at the end of this video. Yeah.